little chat. Today I thought I would share with you the simple things I'm doing to try to improve my health as a young mom. I have always been a healthy person, and I guess having children takes a lot out of you. So I have been struggling more the last couple of years with feeling well, and I've been trying to build up my health, build it back again. I thought I'd share with you in case any of you are this is not to diagnose anything serious. This is just simple ways to work on improving your health that I've found that are helping me, I believe. The side of exhaustion and so on you don't see in the videos, and it's not full time, it's just here and there. And everything's not idyllic either. I was baking cookies with the girls and I burnt my finger, so we're putting some ice on it. I grabbed a pan with two of my fingers for whatever crazy reason. I guess because I tend to burn myself a lot. But anyway, join me this afternoon as I work on baking cookies and cleaning up the dirty dishes in my kitchen, and share with you some of my things that I'm doing to improve my health. The girls were helping with baking cookies. I'll admit that is one of my biggest struggles with patience, but they each wanted to start a recipe and they mixed it up and got a pan full. And then they headed out to play because we're having absolutely beautiful days. Every July here, we're in rainy season, May to December, but every July we have about 2 weeks and where it's just beautiful, and we're in that time now. No rain, hardly. There goes the timer for the cookies, so I guess I should get out the next pan and get another pan ready to put it in. Back to what I was mentioning about struggling with patience when the girls are helping with the baking. I know that is totally my fault. Of course, they can't do it as fast and as well as me. They're just 6 and 8, or almost 7 and 8, and learning. So I know it's my problem. And if there's other moms who struggle like me, together maybe we can learn to grow in in patience and grace and strength, because the more and more I think of it, the more I realize that 95% of the time that I'm impatient with my children, it's my fault, not theirs. The girls wanted to do something different with the cookies than just the usual basic oatmeal cookies, so I said we could put I had a bag of Skittles there, we could put one on each, and they were delighted with that idea. So that's what we're doing. Just a little touch of something special for them. Okay, so about taking care of my health. One of the first things that I have been doing, which I think most everyone does most of the time, but that is working on simply eating better. Most of the time I think we eat reasonably healthy, but with more struggles with my health since becoming a mom, since having 4 children in less than 6 years, which is what I always wanted, but it did a lot to me. And so I've been working on trying to eat less sugar and flour, which is what they always say, and less stuff with seed oils in them, because according to many studies I hear more recently, cutting out oil can be a big thing for health. So I've been trying to do less of them, replace them. I've been switching from, I've finally learned to make sourdough bread, and so we use a lot of bread still. I'm not one of those people who can go, I guess because I haven't struggled enough with my health, just really crunchy like they call it. But these simple changes are things that I've been doing to help improve my health. And changing from regular yeast bread to sourdough bread has been one of those things that supposedly is good for doing, and we've been okay with the change. I've been working on also adding in, instead of just taking out, adding in more veggies, more fruits, more proteins, because I find that proteins really help me a lot too to feel better. So just making sure in a meal that I always have some protein, hopefully some veggies and some fruits, and simple things like that. These are simple changes that anyone can go towards improving. I make sure that in my house I do not keep things like chips and so on, rarely, next to never, because I know that I do not have much self-discipline, and if I keep them around, then I will just simply will fall at some point. It might seem a bit hypocritical, some of this, with making Jello cookies and cookies with Skittles in them and so on. Like I said, it's the simple changes because it's for our family too, and just changing everything out doesn't seem quite right to me either. But in general, trying to have more fruits on hand and not always having cookies on hand for snack. Trying to avoid having the children snacking all the time, or giving them in the morning if they want to snack, especially. I often try to give them cucumber instead of something like this, and then in the afternoon I might let them have a cookie or something if they need a snack. But it's those simple little changes that can add up. Without trying to do too much at once can overwhelm a lot of us, and then we give up totally. Cookies. We're making cookies. Yes, today we have eggs. Okay, and for another thing that I've been really working a lot on is getting more movement in. I've been trying to go running about 2 or 3 mornings a week. It's really hard to get in. It's more like a jog. I'm not very fast yet. What do you need? And I've also been working on, just simply not sitting around so much, getting up and doing things more standing, because I don't know, we just tend to get a bit lazy, right? With moms. And so that's one thing. I also have been working on as I struggled a bit with weight, I've been doing intermittent fasting as I can, like skipping supper. That's the easiest meal for me to skip. And I don't always stick with it consistently, but some of the time. And cutting out dairy, because personally I find that carbs and all that don't do that much to my weight, but dairy sure does make a big difference. And I love dairy. Everything dairy. But I've been trying to work on cutting out some of it, or at least lessening the amount, just to see if altogether I can improve my health.
candy.
Did you like the candy? So another thing that I think is really important that doesn't get talked about a lot is rest and the importance of rest. And I've been trying to make it a priority, just sometimes to rest, to relax from the stresses, to quit rushing and running and trying to do more. Because sometimes rest is important. God designed it, and even if Sundays I didn't do the usual work, trying to get enough sleep in a night, because always when I have too little sleep, I get irritable easy. And so, yes, my encouragement to you is to try to get enough rest and to not fight rest, not think you don't need it, because we do need it. Frankly, we're human, we're moms, we've poured a lot physically and emotionally and mentally into our children, and God gave us rest and He designed it, and so we need to not minimize it, because for our health too, we just need to sometimes rest and relax. Last of all, I wanted to mention supplements. This is something that has always been a bit of a struggle on a tighter budget, and with shipping to Costa Rica being a lot more. But it's not an excuse, I think, to not work on your health. And I think many times with just these other things that I mentioned, we can improve our health a whole lot. But I did want to quickly mention a little bit some supplements that have been of a help for me before I turn off the video and recording and get busy with washing dishes and finishing up in the kitchen. So one thing has been chlorophyll. We can get that here, and just in the morning mixing up a liter of water with an 1/8 cup of chlorophyll or something like that, or a bit less, and just drinking it throughout the day, that has been, we noticed for a while that it really made a difference in how overwhelmed I felt. And if I ran out of chlorophyll, then I'd soon be struggling again. Right now, I feel like I'm at a better place. So at the moment I don't have, but I know I have that in mind in case I need to get in the future. It's probably because I wasn't eating enough vegetables and greens, who knows. Another supplement that has really helped me was, I think I've been struggling some with hormonal imbalance. So Mamouche, the company Mamouche, has this tincture that's for balancing hormones that I've been using too sometimes. It's a bit pricier, but health is important. So when we were getting pretty desperate that I needed something, we did get of that. Again, right now I don't have, because I'm in a better place, but I have that there in the back of my mind. If I would struggle quite a bit, we would get some more, because the price can be a lot, but our health as moms is really important, that we need it to be able to keep up with our children. And that's the whole reason behind this all. The whole reason behind our improving our health is not so we can be young forever and so on. It's so we can be there for our children for many years, and so we can be with them now, because moms who struggle with their health a lot tend to be less present. They miss out on things that their children are going through. And so that has been a large part of the motivation, to be able to be healthy for my family, to be there for my family, to be able to care for them properly. And I hope maybe this video has been an encouragement for you in small ways. What are your small ways of improving your health, of just simply taking care of your health? Maybe you can let me know in the comments below. There's maybe something else I could add to my routine. Oh, one other supplement that I haven't bought, but I was given some stuff to improve gut health, sometimes some pills or some supplements, because they say that is tied to everything. And so I've taken some of those too, but we didn't purchase it, we were given it to. And if you have any more questions, you're welcome to ask them in the comments if you want to know more specifically what supplements. But I just encourage you to work on your health so you can be there for your family. And now I will sign off and get to my dishes and get to finishing the baking and taking care of my family, and I hope you have a wonderful rest of your day as well.
So that's how it comes out.
Yeah. Just don't touch its wings.
But how can Daddy get him out?
I have to wait and see.